The Frontline holds an exclusive one-on-one with Dr. Anokye Frimpong, a fellow of the International Center for Transitional Justice, New York, also a consultant in governance, constitutional law, and chieftaincy. He remained one of Ghana's iconic historians until recently. His unadulterated historical narrative had begun to take a national discourse against the backdrop of some historical distortions. Tonight, my guest, Dr. Anokye Frimpong, now the flag bearer of the People's Redemption Movement, confirmed over the weekend. I am Kweku Anan, and this is the Frontline. We're live tonight from this very studio here in Accra, and of course, across dozens of stations, all picking the feed, including all the way in Sunyane on Sunyane 88.1 FM. In Tadi, we're transmitting on Tadi 99.1 FM, and across the Atlantic in London on GOB radio and television. And of course, you can get GOB also on TuneIn or modernghana.com or www.gobtv.tv. And of course, you can also get them on Apple Music as far as GOP is concerned. Of course, we are also live on the superhighway on what? YouTube, Facebook, and the link is what? My CTV GH. Simple. YouTube, Facebook, respectively, you would get the feed over there. Folks, let's get started. Tonight, of course, 20th of May, 2024, the year of our Lord. I am Kweku Anan, your investigative journalist, and I'm here to airborne with you until 10 p.m. We'll drop exclusively coming some breaking news stories, all making their way tonight. And of course, tonight I'm going to have one-on-one with one of, describe him, that's my description though. He's an iconic, prolific writer, a man of many parts, a historian. And this individual has tried hard until recently, making a giant step to change the narrative over some historical distortions. Who is this person? I'm talking about Dr. Anokye Frimpong. Bebre Martinenka. Pape Ebra wotisi mu a o started so ne Ghana for media for didin komo baby a ni o masesa. Me sure say what Pape wo social media. Oya doctor we, say PhD holder. Na ora Dr. Anokye, oya prolific writer, a historian, and also a lawyer. The breaking news tonight, me breaking say, on my network tonight, we are also going to let you know, say, over the weekend, Dr. Anokye has been pronounced popular acclamation as the flag bearer of the new kid on the block. New kid near wine. A new political formation, a new political party Omobabe contested election 2024. I am from the People's Redemption Movement. Enyasem ketwa. E jeni mbriketua wobodenam from me hubida. Na obekaya se wasonsusu wo social media no so a what to say Dr. Frimpong edidi nkomo bebre na nkomo papa na di no me hu historian bia wo Ghana wa benchi papa. Dr. Frimpong manso ama Ghana for to say hey, there are some distortions here, we need to correct it and correct it now. One, or say the big six no more your local currency no and yes ana story in it here. He again even has made it quite clear to us. He said a quiet fast so Ghana yedi edin Ghana the 2 years no, and also there's some question about it. He goes further to even say quiet fast so the UP4 UP4 a demonize or surge for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said or the kanka nyame bia ba Ghana a foreign god bi o se den ne fa Ghana for the assembly yete da sabre wane amaye cross ne ye de epeno folks and somewhere share from the some gito de bia masema me ka che Ghana for say masa eye wote wa to bo ase o asem ne ye kan se me say munyai saade na ye wo memu a ye say wo mo say o say na ye wo say da nka bi da all because of say the media also a part of this misinformation galore. Yeah. Because media for your madrins or mukakusia de ye CNE. Near Babe Chretre Nipa yet many hunekre. No. Bebre ni good TV ni radio so ya born to the core one party suya. Bebre no presenters ni bebre no omutititi yase womo ye bouncers e be announcers e be eseni akofa no ne wofa be radio station e dinako. That is to the extent to which the media has been reduced to like a rag to mop the floor. Folks, and the Ubeti Asemu, Dr. Anokye Frimpong, the lawyer, an iconic and a prolific historian, is going to give us the breakdown of Kwanye Faswa, the big six in the BPA Ghana Sikanoso. Kwanye Faswa, Ghana, Edini Bedaye, so, and why no sooner a shemwa in the Ghanaian political elite class. One more shema ye history no ya distorted to their political expediency, to their political advantage if you like. And when we're gonna name and shame them tonight. And SMP folks, and yasam kitwa. And sen we are or betray sa political movement na one more sorry the People's Redemption Movement no e die no mo ba be or your flag bearer or ba be digan anymore. E die because Osha Papa I can tell you, say he's a student of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He remains his way of doing things. The former late head of state, Kutu Champon, Hupa. Now, the level of knowledge in me who be that? No, you just need to experience him tonight. Menya kwadro, and now we be suade. Me be suebi no we suebi. Until the obe yana said tonight. With the minutes just gone, or make us say just about 9 minutes, gone past the hour 8, you know. The Obayana said, call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, call a father, a mother, a nephew, all over Ghana. Connect, you see, a Boku for the team in Papa, Miamen Crawford. All the way from Boku to Paga to Wa, all the way connecting to where? Ashanti region, capital, Kumasi, all the way to where? Accra, then to Western region, Half-Assin and beyond, to Volta region back. And then we cross to where? The Atlantic. Britain, France, Germany, US, all over the world. Together we sit. And then we talk and make a sense of it all. Be part of the breaking news story and be the first to know. Folks, because you are what you're listening to. And then tonight, the program is going to be an interactive one. On your WhatsApp line here 020-297-3465 61 020-297-3461 me WhatsApp line me pacho enkoma ye bedie no for WhatsApp efaso na yentimi endidi nkoma enche me ba be ma some breaking news story but ni na no so nkemfua no hye no so say eye ora Morris Kwabena Ampao. Baby, I will be a Kwabena minister was with TV now. Now, me shippy in Zambia over the weekend. Mo de kotna won to me TV. Na mo tries te mo be pete ahua ediegu ni peni. Just as Morris Ampao told the viewers say, ni nuaneme omwa enekre. Me ti he kra was sending odi me ho fe wo. Was sending message Woba a ye ni bi Kwabena bra. Mintimi friend lawyer Morris Ampao. Onim say mintimi friend sa. And on usu nim say ontimi friend any din bi except quick. Why? That is the level to which mene Kwabena Ampao etie. A lawyer of a sort ubia nimu ewo memu ha. But Kwabena Ampao ekotra ni programs wontimi TV so. Zenro. Kututu nsem gu nkrofo ni poto e ka kire wiase se mi kwaku makwa akwaje de me bride Kwabena me oh my goodness I'm going to give you the fact we bubu mapre e kwanya na ade na me ba be ya na dwenum we bu wote ho me say wo sre mapre but e den so a ye be ka no kure bi a kire Ghana for Kwabena made a mistake in the sense is assuming without admitting, say, as you said to your viewers, say, assuming or without admitting, say, whatever publication you allege that I did or you claim I made, I was wronger. What about you? Who went to me and frame it? Emi Sam say Kweku publication 123 away. It's saying send it here. Emun 70 say 1 year. A lawyer of your sort, maybe a journalist too, but a lawyer of your sort who is supposed to know further and better particulars 1 year, sir. Then you take to your page and then but we will not go into the substantive case. I will tell you what you need to know, folks. But tonight we're going to tell you something. It's just about 12 minutes gone past the hour 8. This is the Frontline breaking news story.
This is breaking news. 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 This is breaking news.
Last week episode, we stated that the chief director at the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Sena Siao Boateng, together with one Jennifer, tried to approve a terrible deal by way of an attempt to release a building belonging to the National Security Coordinator, Mr. Kweku Asmeni, to the ministry, which would have cost the ministry 200 million United States dollars. And may I say that this was going to be a rent to the ministry. And later, the building would return to the National Security Coordinator after the rent. May I say, however, the breaking news story tonight is that the chief director of the ministry has been dismissed from his post. He has been dismissed from his post from the ministry, whilst Jennifer had also been relieved of her current position. Indeed, our intelligence had closed up on Jennifer, who is a friend to Gabi Asare Ochredakon's wife, and of course was expecting the wife of Gabi Asare Ochredakon to pull through Gabi for her to be reinstated. But all efforts proved futile, and we say Kendapa had taken a swift action, and we commend the minister for this. Folks, Assembly na say last week Mobekaya publication be a year or hana say national security mpenimphobia one mo de o monsa hye krata bi ase a one pese ya approve a dan kese a sai dan no so no national security coordinator wote akonwa so a friend owura Kweku Asmeni mo on picture na da mo fa Kweku Asmeni picture ne nto so Kweku Asmeni ono ne dan a wesie o e no de ba be rente national security ministry no. Can you imagine or the dan be rente national security for ebe cost national security saying $200 million at the assembly. Now all yes sad we Kweku Asmeni no da ho no o to sa na mo no anamona wo tuo no oni chief director no wo ministry ona e friend ora Mr. Sena Siao Boateng any Arabia friend Jennifer no or office of the National Security Coordinator no the office no wo eno mutu sa na mo any e ba ya ye bedwa ni na mugu hey folks assembly tia wo nyina ne say the National Security Minister no ora Kandapa asemi wantra so ne boso anyo so ora sena sian boaten no ya fire no every ministry ho ena Jennifer nso ni post owo a odete ora kwaku asumini office no wono minister no eyi no every ho no make say breaking news story ye wode mamun. But folks, the American chat wanna say the Frontline show is going to release a blockbuster report. Onyankopon ya adom ne yete ase a blockbuster report on Wednesday about the national security. I don't know how that is going to be. Because the reason we have to share this with you is that migusu kasache Ghana for say mununkum katamai no so ojatana bi da ho a eba na mepese mi yiwa sutre ansana oye nekunu besiesi na wada wo ho so. And the reason I'm doing this is simple because your national security and intelligence chief are refusing to tell the president what to do at what time. And we will not forsake Ghanaians, including the president himself. We release them here. And Obi can also say, if I'm unable to advise you there, then I'll do it in public. A blockbuster report on Wednesday, Nyankopon Yadma. Folks, international security for Monam Hoso on Wednesday is going to be the blazing fire of this blockbuster report coming too close to the national security door. I am Kweku, and this is the Frontline breaking news story. I'll be right back.
This is breaking news.
But Shannon say Onyankopon ya adoma. On Thursday, Kweku, I'll leave the confines of the capital. Say obia nipa ne bebre no anim say me papa ka baby. So Onyankopon ya adoma weekend ya ebe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, na say Ashanti region ni Cape Coast there. No why bija. Me kwa kusie me papa Ura Joseph Kwesi Anan. He was one of Ghana's remarkable engineers. Oye Juma Edeme Juma Kuke see papa. And he was also an apostle in the gospel in the body of Christ. Right? Yakopon yad me kwa ko pene krabie emma bibia koda kama. Eye no ye beye no wo Kumase yeben wo Kumase a ye frɛ Afrancho friends park Afrancho oho ene yebeye no na bibia ayeden aye kama nti se ope ura Kweku ananasem na ope se obeja no a akwenya eda ho emaw se obeba bi nso a ni na no oye akwaba yema obia akwaba. Everybody, politicians, media guys, ubia mutumi eyeden eba na mubijamie na yema bibia no eyeden eye kama. Nto Nyankopon ya adoma mene mo beye program bani na echi ne hye no so se mene mo beye program mene wo ye nene mene wo beye no Wednesday and sana afima eden mabomeketem na mako akope me papa ichiri kura na yakura no fefefe se de ye no amane ni amamre kwan so na ebusuafo masan me ba de na adwendwe bi efiri drizo na feminimu besum esum emu odin tight national security report na me nyo bebre kwa ye no mo beche ni na nioma adede na kwa me guest ababedru nti ye nile kura. Now let's also look into something. Enra najo and I'm starting say calls be started coming through. And the calls near Banach say Kweku, look quickly on this television and that there's a program here air koso ewo Wuntumi TV. na ora lawyer Morris Ampao the way si hon ma was super say we one of the journalists wakwakoji bribe kesia. That's our bribe no ugu mpenimfo bi anim ase including Jubilee House for. And I'm saying no, Kwabena won't do this because Kwabena Eminia, and it's true. Just as he alluded to it. He's a brother. But I am one was so to me to two ni we ya no kwatena won't me ho. Me Kweku me nka nkyerɛ sɛ Kwabena wo won't me na ma osika. And I me nka nkyerɛ wo sɛ we afi Kweku we afi na ma osika. Emma wo kwatena ho we yes adewe. And 3, you began by telling your viewers say uni me pa, yet you are not going to place a call to me to ask me anything. And I make cash and say, assuming without admitting, say Kweku, publication be purported I Kweku made our network be so. I was even wrong. Let's assume for want of it. DNS say we wona we lawyer na we sua woma for further and better particulars. Kwabena Morris Ampao, you couldn't place a call to me in order to ascertain and obtain the facts beneath what that publication was. But rather, you also took it to the social gallery and started casting a slur against my integrity, including making allegations of, say, I was bribed. Kwabena, now, meduko jina judge ni na me catch judge no one can show se substantiate. Sika ben na office ye de me do what saying. And you care to know, apart from being a journalist, I ran a PI, that you know. I ran a PI, and my PI does so many things with a lot of information. Yet the networks be brave. So, what were you talking about? 1, you are referring to one individual called Ora William Kweku Ado. Now, let me tell you this quickly. I Kweku do not know whether or not you are talking about the same Kweku Ado I am looking for, or the Kweku Ado I don't know. Supposedly said the Kweku Ado that's your client, and the Kweku Ado I Kweku as an investigative journalist looking for. On the 3rd preposition I need to educate you is that the Kweku Ado you are talking about, or the William Ado you are talking about, my investigation so far I place a call to the same supposed Kweku Ado, may I say, is your client. And your client ran away. He denied being called Kweku Ado or William Ado. Rather, named himself, falsified his identity to be that of what? To be who? Atukwe Ifio, who we've traced to be that of what? A football administrator and a deceased. Which one? So which of the Kweku Ado you are referring to? You didn't know. Kwabena, given the circumstances of the relationship, you think me Kweku Ametihe. Ever since in my career, in my radio days, before I joined the television screens, exposing my image, my integrity and everything, I will go and sit on TV or radio or whatever, and I'll be dumb. Thinking that my crossing the dot and the T. But for your information, Kweku Ado is on record. The supposed Kweku Ado or William Ado is on record to have denied his name not to be the same person you and I are talking about. In the first place, may I say, I am looking for one Kweku Ado, maybe not yours. But if it is the same Kweku Ado of yours and mine that we are looking for, then that man has denied being called the Kweku Ado we are looking for. Meaning we are dealing with what? A fake identity, is it not? The same fake identity called Kweku Ado who has given you the document has falsified the name of the Jubilee House by saying, say, he works at the Jubilee House and he's a national security officer to IC, to why Captain Waya or Jubilee House. Have you rather gone deep? Captain, what's the name of this captain? Oh, Jubilee House. I will remember his name. So, on a 2IC, Captain Koda, are you aware of that? And here, number 1. And may I tell you this quickly, sir? My investigation, I have not even gone on whether or not Kweku Ado owns document which gives him access to the property of the late Mactonto. Menko ho. Kwabena nya ho na me wo. You were saying I haven't released one document, and may I say it is for a good reason. That's my trump card. You yesterday exposed a lot of ignorance and exposed a lot of weakness on the battle lines. You see, when you are on the enemy lines, like the Americans will say, when you are using one stone to kill two birds, you wait for a clean shot. I cannot display my goddamn ignoramuses on anywhere I may go in such undercover investigations. Kwabena, don't try this. You are calling for a fight and a war you can't finish. Number two, you also said on your program, I've used the name of the Jubilee House and I'm mentioning names of Jubilee House and so forth. Do you know what? I'm sorry that I have to do it again. Because it's been 2 weeks. The relative of this man here, I know him so well, and he's a decent guy. But Ebra mene o clients kweku wiafe kodi nkomonwa. Kweku wiafe a crook tell him udia bro kwabna wan hwani ya won ebe funu mu keke. I don't want to get cross with the Wound to Me TV. Please. You know me too. I'm not a coward. Please don't do this. Kwabna, stop it. Ebra o client a crook kweku wiafe. My friend who was done here or deny my identity. Do you know what happened? In a split of about 6 minutes thereof, somebody calls me from the Jubilee House and name himself as what? Eric Entribuesiakon, also known as what? Achempemine of Achimibuakwa. Go and check for the records. Nyamina my friend. Now he comes to ascertain why I've called Wiafe. And when I gave him all the sequential arrangements and they're kind of saying the dirty things Wiafe is out there doing. Then he said, hey, how? And I told him he should go and find out from Wiafe why Wiafe has falsified the name of the Jubilee House or Juma National Security and the 2IC to the Captain Koda. And I said, how? And I say, yes. Then this same Achempemine Eric Entribuesiakon, who is also a security officer at the office of the president. And right, he was involved in the convoy accident. Go and check. Ask him, he said, how? Me for complimentary card, the copy symbol, and I copied him. There he realized that there was danger. And I told him, sir, Mr. Chimpemine, Eric Entribuesiakon, come forward. Let's go and trace this friend of yours because there he mentioned to me, he said, we are fear na downfall. So me bisa and said, no, I down for didn't say we are fear kasa, now we frame me. But he wanted to ascertain something as to whether they are bad friends, engaged in the same dubious things Wiafe is out there. And let me tell you, I will tell you tonight, say Wiafe is being used by top MPP people, Aomoko, hunting Crawford, the Edgy Crawford properties, ostensibly lands. Maame no ye the wife of Matonto no. Eye kunedu no nebusuafo no. Woman release assassin kese baako e de ama Matonto nuanom. Eye hwan Jotonto. Emma mi kase assassin kakrakai maton e de ama Ghana gas. Emma mo de aye Astrotep. Go there e wo ho. Woman de aye Astrotep. Ghana gas for na toy. Baako no aka no a edan sisuo no a eno Matonto ye ni nebusuan enso so eye omudian eno so say no ye ba enso ne ye ba begie firisem ye decide we di we be ode na mama mi say a question wo keka ka those who lost na me say in the sense say how did the building manage say be see ho edan no esi asas no say kwan be so na fa so be see ho for more than 50 years that maybe you and I were kids e ba say na be see ho huh enti by automatic say edan no na be see ho Sanate, anana nipa team. Ghana former head of state, Lieutenant General Kutu Echampon, as you said, gave this land to Ora Tonto and Omesi Omodan, Atrimu for more than 50 years. Into Wewua. Obesa o just said, Negana no be wua. Me, so kwabna wewua. And no met me about asase so a daisy so. Na mabeka cha wo mase because you didn't do a will on the back of that building. Maba. Government release sa building their mama. What kind of nonsense is this? Why are you trying to sell person down Ghana mra? How? You think you are the only lawyer we are a repository of knowledge? Kwabna, you are not. Please. Now you are talking about them. Me. Are you aware how much has been given to me? Now do you know land cases are me handle? Me a boom so we can me catch me papa penibi. Me say no. Journalism, I'll leave very soon. I am ready to give up. Now, me and Matthias, I have to give up on journalism. Because I cannot sit to talk over my voice and whatnot, and still, the situation is as it is. Because, me no can say, fie piye kwa toya ne, me nim dio woba ababe rescue Ghana. Now, so what your mind to say mu? The police, the military, can be used to go and bulldoze obi dying ebubunu asenekwa the same weekend no na mare hinio of ehimfa ekuapem no so asojafo obi akọ no mu kobubu ni dan. Now let's watch some of the pictures. We are that crook came to Matonto fie omubebubu dan no over the weekend now na also better wuntumi awokeka san na da ho no yeah na mo fi semo nya adwuma papa bi ye meanwhile ni nara no won to me wonim sa case won to me no pass asase na to ora won to me NPP Ashanti regional chairman wono no pass asase we ato na now ayeden se won to me beto sa dan we any asase we no trem odwulu ho a na ayeden obewu me se won to me wo bewu. What nonsense is this? Aden, where has Ghana got into? A banana republic? What is it? We are didn't know say he was being recorded. A bra will buy no one mamino, a queer yardom nitifia or more cassa. Asema who we have who catch mamini say. Ube buano, maybe be a person ye be a DCQ hono, or baby be a manifest. Only to end up knowing say we are finished turning on who buyer, we have now claims that he possesses the documents of this land. How can this be? Where has Ghana got into? And now we read some documents I mean person make come wasem. Why no one him documents are falsified or lands commission akwabna minimni na wate. Na no na maka former Greater Accra regional minister and the yaye minister for him say onye because I know the kind of powerful people who are playing role in this. And this is very dangerous. Mamu nyama dwen say mo kwa na mo tumi ana mo be control na wo be dru on nipa e bia na eno wo fa ho die. The next time now be dru on ni nipa atete wo ho na mbe matuo so say team ni ekum nipa tenego Ghana police be kwa kwose so muna because obia be defending ho. Ghana is getting there sooner rather later. Mo be hu de be koso and so funa mo di wo Ghana no a mo nya nipa me yan kasanchom in the name of mo politics and mo sisi nkrofo. Now Morris Ampao, somebody I believe you should know the law and educate those individuals. The lives of Kweku Yafi a crook. Or say they who say me exposing my and known to me none of you will be Jania to William, Kayem, and me Pomnislim. We are feeling Jani because he's not an honest guy. or two and so a yare for count, who diagram within a yare status never to the way. I dear Chimbia non in India, besides all there in India, this goddamn crook. Look at him. Wait so when yam or no baby catchers was sort to media, what sort to media, and I mean how they won't mean sort to me, okay? Won't mean sort to me. Massa Mama Ghana and you decent. But there are no basic ho. Now you remove up next Ghana speaks. Now me guest I join me. Mon for Munzio. And the Kwabne. Me can play natural. CID headquarters me sure ho. Until for see, me respecting it too much. If you care to know, we all help these security agencies to work and work effectively. It's me what they may call young family to move CID or made them and family, even to the extent of family concern. Let me speak my truth and let the truth expose these political charlatans, ragamuffins, crooks, and criminals. Na me nemu nsawum. Na wiase hu say he told the truth. And the consequences lie thereof. Please don't try me. And now me na make a say. And you be a wabe ya e imre wo me shows. Ko unim say me ba e. And we be chance an kwaku and I me ba ye ni bi. And I say we dey agra make kan message ni on edited. Menya dia wo ye no. Dia wo ye no enye fe unni fact dia. Do not pretend say unni bibi ma. Me medwum journalism. We a lawyer. You also want lecture journalism for in the media law. Untimi lecture me. Don't go there. You can't lecture me in media law. Kwaya law. Go and battle law. Don't come and battle investigative journalists. It's a slippery area for you to try. The fact say untimi for Amao TV doesn't mean say ubeti have be BBA. No, please. Please, me person lawyer be adding a law. A lawyer for be crooks. Mwamu kaho a lawyer for ni be. Any a judge for be kaho and attending any intiminko. Folks, tonight Ghana speaks up next. And we take a sharp focus on the debilitating effects on the Ghanaian economy. Economic against the backdrop of the city's inability to appreciate the foreign denominations as the market forces have alluded to. Yeba beshe. Given pan or main economy, esinitiasia. Wosu dencheche edian edibai. But tonight, we have the breaking news to Ghanaians that what is currently confronting the local economy now is as a result of Ghana's Debayan eating a humble pie with the IMF. The idea way na bane kofa ba ni na free baby a chese Ghana nsa ehye IMF nsem. Na ne kro no mu ntimi nka nkyerɛw. Kobi Sora, Vice President Baumia said, Obetimia cancel 11 he should do it now. Now, the Vice President earlier told Ghanaians his economic knowledge base and he will resolve the economic issue if indeed voted into power. Today, he's the Vice President and he says, what is it that the Vice President has learned about Ghana's fraternity with the IMF that he has learned or read? Ora Baumia, Edi adisua, muna muka wa MPP, mo so economic wizard. Adisua ben na Baumia wesua. Empredo dua Ghana akwa IMF. Our interface with the IMF, how many times ever in our political history? Baumia should come and tell Ghanaians. Now history will recall SKB Asante, Ghana's Solicitor General at the time and a member of the debt negotiating team. The IMF insisted that, quote, Ghana devalued the cedi by 43% vis-a-vis the US dollar in December 1971. Mene and woman. A quite fast one, Ghana cedi was devalued to 43% under the era of the Progress Party led by Dr. Kofi Abrefa-Buzia. Any why Akufo-Addo ne papa Edward Akufo-Addo no mo show main so. Now, Mibisa said in 1971, I wasn't born, but where was Baumia then? And what is it that Baumia has learned in the economic learning curve into the realization of us going back and forth with the IMF? The IMF compelled government to introduce what he called the austerity budget of 1970-71. As part of the measures, restrictions were placed on the import of them and some items, especially foreign consumables to which Ghanaians were so much attached. Overnight market prices jumped threefold and fuel rationing was introduced. Some benefits for public officials were withdrawn, and university students who had relished free tuition and bond under Nkrumah's liberal education policy were also asked to source bank loan. On said be am waka se be am catch up say edua kweku ananse me kwotena ase no entikuma nkotra ho. Now bisa who say how many times after this period we Ghana akọ IMF? And what is it that Baumia and this government now when Buzia went to IMF no na ehwan ma breso mo the same mo MPP for ya massive for Progress Party. It was one of the things that Dr. Kofi Abrefa did, and he precipitated a military coup by Lieutenant General Kutu Champoa. And normally be introduced or am I do two na buying when Buzia introduced what you call the economic austerity measure, which saw hundreds of Ghanaians all going home. And it has been described as one of Ghana's public sector retrenchment. A lot of Ghanaians were made to go home. The same thing IMF for the year Rawlings. At a point when Rawlings eteki saying Dr. Hilary Man are buying free one, the Rawlings decided so no be handle nyoma. Then at a point we saw that the economy of Ghana has hit the iceberg, not the tip of it. And we were at a point that we needed life oxygen to survive. The same IMF of today were there. And I said, Rawlings, look, Rawlings, the ultimate answer, you need to embark upon what you call economic recovery program. And the essence of it will be to lay a foundation of a productive, sustainably efficient economy, clarifying the prospect of the wealth creation in the nation under the period of what? Stabilization from 87 to 89, structural adjustment and development. This was where the IMF told Rawlings to put in the economic team together. And then brought the players like P.V. Obeng, Nathaniel Kwao, Justice D.F. Anna, the Ahoy brothers, and a Korea saying, Global 2000. Can I say, and all those IMF conditionalities at the Ghana Korea saying. And so, then they told Rawlings to embark upon what you call restructuring through political liberalization, where they ensured that elections for district assemblies were held in 1988 and 89, followed by the appointment of committee of experts and consultative assembly to draft the constitution of the Fourth Republic. And by then, the national referendum of April 1992, which approved the constitution by overwhelming majority. What was to be the crowning event was the elections in December 1992, followed shortly by parliamentary elections. What is striking in this process is the effort by Rawlings to strengthen his claim to domestic and international legitimacy, whilst at the same time doing what? Strengthening the PNDC control. That gave birth to the 1992 Constitution. It's been 30 years. Ask the question. What has these so-called political oligarchs, the political oligarchs, those call themselves the Cambridge University, the Harvard University, all the way from Kufo, Besi Akufo-Addo, none of them seem incapable of reversing this constitutional disorder. This paperway, constitution, the governor, if any group of people today will wake up and they want to throw it away, and they will have so many things to justify it. What is going on? Folks, na Baumia Tiho, you cannot arrest the city, and now be dia trash and said, ye be sawa, market forces ni be sawa, na wosa donku. Me de onu esi hono. Yen hwe ne say, events wey now occurred about 50 years ago. And vice president was in the country. Medinisiwa after the vice president Ira baby, as part of his campaign tour, the vice president had touted, quote, charges should rather be paid instead of being taxed, unquote. As my vice president taken him. Or say sorry impono. Yen den. Yen tuomoka instead of say sorry no. Ye tax one. As my who can ye. Watch this. As the vice president says this a couple of days ago. Watch this.
Then the question is church and taxes. Are we going to tax churches? My view on this is simple. In fact, that's why I say that if you share a Juma church, in fact, we should rather be paying them rather than they paying us. Unless you don't understand the work the church has done. If you're looking at the buildings, the way they try to keep the society together, the church, the universities, the hospitals, the schools, it's massive. It's just massive. Many churches have hundreds of schools. Massive. So I don't see, and I will not have a situation where we are taxing the churches. We rather want to give churches incentives to support what government is doing. I want us to be partners in the way that the development partners are with us. You are our domestic development partners, and we will give you incentives to do more. Then the question is church and taxes. Are we going to tax churches? My view on this is simple. In fact, that's why I say that if you share a Juma church, in fact, we should rather be paying them rather than they paying us. Unless you don't understand the work the church has done. If you're looking at the buildings, the way they try to keep the society together, the church, the universities, the hospitals, the schools, it's massive. It's just massive. Many churches have hundreds of schools. Massive. So I don't see, and I will not have a situation where we are taxing the churches. We rather want to give churches incentives to support what government is doing. I want us to be partners in the way that the development partners are with us. You are our domestic development partners, and we will give you incentives to do more. Then the question is church and taxes. Are we going to tax churches? My view on this is simple. In fact, that's why I say that if you share a Juma church, in fact, we should rather be paying them rather than they paying us.
Vice President, after hours later, the Vice President make a U-turn and says, I was joking, quote unquote. Joking saying, how can a senior political figure of our country at this crucial time who touted political economic policies must stakeholders in our who baby who free ba so that Ghanaians will make an informed decision and an informed choice. And Vice President Tene was saying, I'm joking. How? Meaning they want to I don't know. Take a listen to him the other way around.
I was joking, and I said, oh, people are talking about taxing churches. I don't believe, and we will not tax churches. Because if you look at the work the churches have done, then I was joking, then maybe we should have actually paid them for what they did. I was joking, and I said, oh, people are talking about taxing churches. I don't believe, and we will not tax churches. Because if you look at the work the churches have done, then I was joking, then maybe we should have actually paid them for.
How's the Vice President Bekachre Ghana for say, I'm joking? Joking about what? Serious policies for Ghanaians. Yedi kwa dream sabio ni adwene wo say Vice President wo se na wo fatase wo bedi yeso wo se wo di agro. And of course, the Vice President has been playing all this while. Or same one zone to no off beats. No near the more any video no. How can do you have it there? What is the meaning of that? Sorry, guys. Do you have it there? No, Vice President. Adey. Now winim adia wo ye na no wo da dan sorry no. The vice president is lying to the Christian community in this country. Asem way ena me no ono ne supporter ba ko ye more example American asem obetra me ho na 2 TV those days. Ehwe camera nim ka kire Ghana say say sorry no we should tax them because the money the church is making no enyis kaketwa. But for some political expediency of the vice president and the obetra ho say afi de wudi agro. How can you do that? And the vice president has been joking all this while. Agro. Vice. I don't know. Take a listen to this. Really the joker. Watch this. Folks, this is the joke of the century by the Vice President, His Excellency, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. Folks, Bidimu see anamako break me bar. Hey, my guest is seated, oh, and of course, certainly look like the late Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Of course, Dr. Anokye Frimpong will join me shortly after this short break. Stick and stay. I'll be right back.
Black Star Limited. Our lands are everywhere. It depends on the customer's preferred location. We have lands in areas such as Kwabinya, Amasaman, Kaswa, Denchira, Bruku, Botsiano, and Insawam. Our lands are very affordable and has no litigation issues. Our lands comes in various sizes such as 70 by 100, 35 by 100, and among others. We have a flexible payments plan that is 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. The areas are well developed. No need to worry about electricity, water, and other social amenities. You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555, or visit our website at www.oralblackstarlimited.com. Oral Black Star, your preference, our priority.
The Frontline.
Great, folks, welcome back. And of course, we're here to walk the second leg of the journey, now making approximately just a minute gone past the hour 9. And my guest has joined me, and we're going all the way full cycle to about 10 thereof. and it's going to explode. My guest, Dr. Yao Anokye Frimpong, born at Axim to an Nzima mother and an Ashanti father, had his early school education at Kumasi High School and advanced level certificate at Secondary St. John's School. He read law at the University of Ghana and the Ghana School of Law, did graduate studies at the Institute for Justice, Reconciliation, University of Cape Town, South Africa. He holds a PhD from Global University, USA. And of course, he has been lecturing business law at the postgraduate level at several universities, including Wisconsin International University and Valley View University, both in Accra. He's a fellow of the International Center for Transitional Justice, New York City. He is a consultant in governance, constitutional law, and chieftaincy. Of course, arguably known. I describe him as Ghana's prolific and iconic historian, Dr. Yao Frimpong, in my studios. Doc, now who's he saying? Good. And now, please confirm to us, as it were in the weekend, and you've been acclaimed the flag bearer of a new kid on the block. I, a friend of People's Redemption Movement. Oh, wow. And here, Anadri, your viewers, who says, so Muhu, Ghana, not as Ziano. About why Babe to Ubedi Mwakotine, Sanity.
Me Pacho Medimu Akotine 2024, 7 December.
Wow, folks, that's the breaking news story. Onte ya afi na wotia o breaki wo your channel is just say kanenu a ye tititi na odi nkomo ne ade media for be engaging, but tonight confirm our Frontline CTV say aya ora Dr. Yao Anokye is a flag bearer of this political party here, People's Redemption Movement. The only time a redemption word na say ababio no kutu e champion time.
No correct. Na party no. Once meti wonu na wo kasa no. Na wo ka inflation. Na wo ka babia ka ebuzi ade ekodrie a o man no esay. Ho na me kai me mentor General Echampon. Na me kai me mentor Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Ni entira sa nipa mienu we. Ene tumi ye wo man ni yesisi factories ankasia, estates ankasia, ya woto yes ni mire nyina no. And the fact is say omo hwe won hu ye anko IMF. Omo hwe omo ye anko IMF. Anti redemption no wakofa ba ma anwose agume. Redemption ne ya Kwame Nkrumah ni din osagefo, the redeemer. Nti mra ye tu na ban 24 February 1966. And now one more two abino a fedi National Liberation Movement. Council. National Liberation Council. Because now the main opposition to Nkrumah Ashanti National Liberation Movement. National Liberation Movement. It is here two Nkrumah there. And ye na townful nidi na yese yafa. Any liberation no mateme hofo no. Enti General Champion so betu mateme hofo no free ho no. In natural fact ni minister nkode Nkrumah back na samre no yare. So ye ku no January April na Kwame Nkrumah 2017 April na Nkrumah wi. Oye ku no soma Nkrumah ne ba Professor Francis Nkrumah. So unkonkosha ne papa condition no. So betumi aba oba no see in a few months no me papa obewu. Now the fact is say a champion do Kwame Nkrumah no and no so to junta nidi National Redemption Council. And it say kuwe ya yede aba no redeemer no ewo medal no redemption no na ma ye kai Dr. Nkrumah General Echampon se fei ye besisi factories ye baba ye Ghana ye na yanko IMF biem na yankai awreho nso ebiem na dear friend work and happiness and no na beda Ghana man no enim
we have make us answer doc asen abem kire se the knowledge base of him is overwhelmed. I mean, it's overwhelming. But my dear, so we are gone near Briwo Sheme from all the way Boko to Paga wa back to half a snee Western region baby ana. Yenumwa ya say ya bre NDC MPP me pawo chowo ubi a wo se wa bre MPP ni NDC no. I am here to say papa asema wo be ka kire no tie ni ye. We are bringing people to come and give us alternative to Ghana's political solutions. And not anything at there. So what we say, what test to mumi and our bra, and you will be them. The solutions to Ghana's problem will be yego. And the ube obetcheni na baby a shoma ubenyawom. Na kwanya se ube domoma wa domom na washe kwanya ubetimi eno mada ato abasakomu. Come 2024 because after we breaking news and say he's going to be on the ballot. Make us say political parties will be Eddie Sikaba so there. Or mama kwan chemebo omudi. No mama kwan. 1% omu influence no with sika bi ni ade akoye boachi bitin. Now anadwi mi beyi history no maku bi mienu bi no we di hu nkomo ansa na ye beko omo political party no what they stand for, omo policies, omo programs any ehun account. Now that's been what we know all this while say. They be a Ghana CD na. More a CD ni be a monfan screen is money. Osha Ghana CD na. E nipa be nsie bi wo so ene ya to omudin ye say the big six. Ye na ye can be. But according to Dr. Frimpong, you know there is something wrong somewhere. Doc, Ghana for being a bakwasem kitu bi was at the big six and say. Do you say that the narrative is not as well we know?
And one working and say when we say 1947 and a Ghanaian timber merchant, Gold Coast timber merchant, a friend of Pa Grant, the full name here George Alfred Grant, or the party Amanyokuebi. Na sabe adwena na ewo netirimu na opese sa Amanyokuo no onyine no kakra enti na ewo preti ewo Gold Coast colony but your Ghana mine no a ni nyina bom my friend no Gold Coast no technically no near what the colony and no pa ni the real Gold Coast and na made up of today's western region and then central region na no ye western province and ye what the eastern province eastern region and then greater Accra region and ye what Ashanti no any north, any voter no. Parliament na one legislative council. No one count. They were being ruled by proclamations. Count until the 1946 Banks Constitution no no. Na santifo nka ye Gold Coast Legislative Council no omo enka. Enti na party no ye United Gold Coast Convention no. Their aim was to seek independence through a gradual process for the colony, Eastern Province and then Western Province. Enti party no one kofare by ni one leader and our president and our chairman Pa Grant no first vice chairman Pacho TNE first vice chairman in charge of Western Province your friend RS Blay our your friend is Pa Grant in the Kromini and Zemeni. Then second vice chairman in charge of Eastern Province, your friend Dr. JB Dankwa. So now
JB Dankwa
you have to let our children know. Say Obika se JB Dankwa NT UGCC ya Obwa. Obika se no ye one leader Obwa. The leader was George Alfred Grant, otherwise known as Pa Grant. The first vice chairman, that is second in command, RS Blay. Then third in command was Dr. JB Dankwa. And no. Na bra akwajay suggesting say so mo pe very effective general secretary onim Kwame Nkrumah wo UK na yankra ne manamra Pa Grant eyi ne bottom sika £100 editwa shen that time no plane ni ho your friend is saying habo obepie takra de habo ɛna bibini abroni driver no the driver friend Mr. Hawley okokofa Kwame Nkrumah edi ba ne fie the following day no ba Salt Pond so ba be start na adwuma treasurer kora wo mu ni bi o mu ni account bia ɛna Nkrumah ka kire won say instead of seeking independence for the colony, why not the whole country?
That's right.
And no more one is a woman pesa. Entina UGCC no asantini enka ho tieo. Asantini enka UGCC ho. Ana aibeni enka UGCC ho. Ana esiremini enka UGCC ho. Eye empoanofo kakra no ano achem enkran emfante enzima. Nti obeye na adwuma onhwem na onye. Wantie no kofa Komla Beli Bedema, Aibeni, Edidi Nechi, Krobwadu say, those days Araram Ponsa, Vito Wusu, no Monte Wong, and Komatimihu, and the Jantua brothers, Edibabedi Nechi, and then Imoru Gala from the north. So it means that right from the very word go, he was thinking about a party for the whole nation, and they were thinking about the province. So to cut a very long story short, after the 1948 riots, Ayekum Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Date Lamte, and Atipo, no, Ayeche Empenifo. No. The reason why Ayeche Wono and they say, yo, petition and Omo Kwama governor, so Omo pe ex Graciano. In actual fact, Nipa na yan handwriting was Kwame Nkrumah.
Oh,
and Nkrumah and Oko Jamestown Puano. They needed 63,000 soldiers from Ghana. Bebre we omo buy no money say be mo ex gracia yamfa ama. Now Nkrumah mobilize ho because he felt they were a very strong force towards the fight for independence. No omo share so omo nkonkwaji won ex gracia. No fi Britain ba na abrofo no yetua won de ama. Enti sa letter no omo de ekono na downfall Akuaje aye lawyer. Nti ono no dictate west no so jani baako ebutu sei ana writing part Kwame Nkrumah kuta ana Nkrumah de nsa etwero nti tama riots ne ba ye kunkum nipa no mo retrieve letter no Nkrumah being the general secretary of the UGCC omo hwa ne handwriting ne yamre ana ye chi Nkrumah nti ye chi ne dia na che se dabre abrofo no nti dabre UGCC mpanimfo ne na ma won general secretary etro when they didn't know anything about it. Nti na mpanimfo ne bebre adwane like Nanka Bruce no adwane Awuno Williams no adwane Pa Grant no watu kwan afri omanum. Nti wo mu ayenya wo mu a no mu ye leaders no JB Dankwa was the third leader as I in command as I told you. Na Kwame Nkrumah general secretary. Now when what is said you the Kufuado Obeche Bilamte your friend say Ofori Ata and Akuaje say nipa for omo kuta position biawo. Na mom ya chi wono a newspaper publication. Big says leaders of UGCC arrested.
Hey.
And now you dear to Sikaso Tesania, they were leaders of the
independence
it was
or whatever.
Only one person who was fighting for the independence of Ghana and later to fight for the entire liberation of the continent.
So there on the screen.
Me pacho and yasa yomu equal. Near Yani se binum kura wachai. Kwame Nkrumah. 5 of them were not national leaders.
You're kidding me.
Because Akuaje Noa or dictating West Kwame Nkrumah Chiroino. When they were sent to police station okaso nim hoshi and a nipa a nine so akano actually no mu nim hoshi nti e jai obi a make Kwame Nkrumah nti we don't have anything called the big six in the history.
So the big six was just a newspaper publication.
Our big six then can start from JB Pa Grant no in the party now go second in command.
That's right.
RS Blay and son by general secretary Kwame Nkrumah na Edward Kufuor PM say ono ni wafa anane cousin any JB Dankwa nti I say swoop what you say Edward Kufuor or related JB Dankwa and ya che ne cousin ne ya de no aka ho ane one the other cousin at the Akwapem side friend William Oforiata. What you say?
Yes.
William Oforiata, JB Dankwa, Edward Kufuor, they were related. Ana yachi ba kwa di wo maka ho achi wo. Mienu na ka ne leaders. JB Dankwa actually or leader in charge of the Eastern Province. And Kwame Nkrumah was the General Secretary. In Timpenifo Academy, Timpacho, a bit to say big six and one. The Korea one more pa and say, ya na nipa bia 1 year leader one knitting.
Yes.
Now open means to be amending. Then you take advantage of that newspaper publication. Big six leaders of UGCC arrested. Send your beya. Ubema say nipa numi yina ne Kwame Nkrumah. Na sanya ewudisam ne wo nipa bitim ane ewurikasam ane adwempone a na kan ese yehunu se oman biye mu no wo musika no the lowest denomination to say Ghana there 1 cedi na bia me de kan sem kodwo men sandi na da so na 5 cedis ya omenu 10 cedis start to the highest and then ya dey start from 1 cedi to the highest nipa 6 ni din na was because omun ni mesase ye papa mu a ye papa mu a wontumi mfa Kwame Nkrumah enya 1 cedi and the wontumi mfa ne mesha emfinfini say what dey no highest and ye we ya again ye papa mu a nko bi ti say Ekem Ferguson ai nam no so ye nya Ghana map no Ekem Ferguson time Ashanti Empire no fall year 1874 no and na ma bawule enyin ani Julia for no mosifo no wo mu nyina ekoye ana ye fa de say Togo Benin omu free mu Burkina Faso mosifo ekoye na nzemafo na wa Ivory Coast omu free ka bonofo nso eko brekumfo nyina ko mu kwa Africa yes and Ekem Ferguson ekoye arbitration sa ade wo mu nyina bae he was killed in wa when he kumono nti sanka Ekem Ferguson awo ye Ghana map mesire wo nyina beka ho nyo no a nka from Bono to the north ekodi Ivory Coast eden and Kennedy Emmet Agri of Africa what you see James Kweji Agri and 1923 you didn't call South Africa and the whole of Africa say on Kasanche before say education you good into omufa wonje education under Feldstock Foundation second din bebem
yes
ya santewa obibini ba otumi boss antefo ejapade ho ban and last week otumfa sante hine tumi the golden stool DPA abonten na efri ya santewa second din ebebem one Professor Anton William Amo, the first black scholar, and the Ephraim Amu, that famous musicologist. Safwani in Edin Babam, and ya 1 year. And tonight, some conform Pia won't fear for 1 were bushing for. At the Kwame because we in Kruma Filmwa, and ye, Nayan say 1 woman attending a mayape. Nayam Pia, Uncrofa, Mambo, Wendy, woman, a day, 1 crown wall. And won't be at 2 or mine. Young Pia won't see.
Great dog. Do you think that somebody can challenge this in a legal, you bet me challenge this way to rewrite this history?
I believe the time has come for us to challenge it.
Wow.
Because I believe say or mine assuming Bronica's assuming that you say young fan say you will be being punk your friend big sex want to make us halfway. And kwani the person or minor a kaiwo. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Assuming say obi be afraid wa bra who call America, who call Britain.
They are not the only. So George Ekem Ferguson, that's the one on the screen.
Yes, over the age of 33 years or something. But they don't quite to a Samori
services to God and country.
Samori and Baba too. Slave raiders. Omuchi no kumulukwa. Omuchi no.
Na no edeni.
Oya
Fantini de bediano mi hu
Oya Fantini abrantie. Na ne me ya de say krono aye kumu no wo eso no. Ane na wo hosisi ya no. Ehwo na yesi Oman University na yade ato obia the highest level of achievement in his life was the chairmanship of the NPP Council of Elders. The friend is CK Tedam. Yade Ghana University de ato.
What?
So
Ruben and will play in our historical artifacts.
Yeah. And no maka kwaya fast who are not and the bonobaka because a buffon munanko join Ivory Coast after the fall of Ashanti. Omswomani Asante and your mind for Frobium. A mind bakubium tinko muko, Papa and a quaji won't buy. A dear baku so or uncle of winning any say. because he was a surveyor and cartographer. Or not Britain for you soon, no. But on the Germans, a year the eastern side of Ghana's boundary with Togoland, no. I don't know Kokoye.
That Trans-Togoland issue.
Trans-Togo border no on Pape no Kokoye. A year Bibini Akura, a branty Akura, or Kokoye. A face so. Or not the first person.
Minyasho sa wokan Ghana for 10 or winning pape. Minyasho. So said na wokan.
Or no, any first person a year so uncle survey the Volta River. Said the be a dear dam a bay yana. Yes.
Doc, great one, folks. I'm sure say you are really monitoring and learning something very, 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 mind blowing. It's just about 20 minutes gone past the hour 9. My guests. Dr. Anokye, of course, is a scholar, prolific writer, an iconic historian, giving us all the history build-up. Doc, let me ask you a question before we come to how Ghana became Ghana. You speak abra, conjunctions. What kind of a head? And how all this is loaded, and everything you've said and I've watched you afar and now is unadulterated.
Yes.
Who are you?
What did you compare me? Dina ni yao. Anokye Frimpong. I mean so me Ghana ni ati se wa. Na mo ma ye ma dwen se ese metumi som me man. Na to so ebiem. Ba bibia ya chia bibi no. Ese metumi kakra metumi no metene. Me fa so edetene. Woni se mra bi dua sabe ye nyina ye mampani. I can say it was my uncle J.B. Dankwa who established the University of Ghana.
Hey,
but you make it to a memu radio and TV so be me say University of Ghana no. One more tea and J.B. Dankwa and me who baby.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
But me, President Akufo de beto J.B. Dankwa. That's what we heard.
Sir, on what the candy be ato you see them. What you say? I don't know what so just say Sunyani de Yamfanto Buzia and UPSA Yamfanto.
But he gave some history justifying why he was going to do so.
Because it was erroneous history. That was why he didn't go forward.
Hey.
And luckily for him and for you and I, he was very ready to learn all the time. I was an annual call. Eastern region Koforudia can say Tetakwashe Aquapimini. You cannot credit no emo sempacho Tetakwashe Efrimpo no say our young crany at this year Lady Aquapim no sorry Tetakwashe and Aquapim for netu Namon ko no na say forest any osu ne ma me frosu na ne papa friteshi nungwa e one forest ni
so it's a full grown full fledged gun
no ode ade no call mountains ho ekoko dua ntem say nuna o mampani nim abakwasem no na adwene ye ne say ho na efi luckily no
what historians at the 4 year of Ghana no we timi nchiro mampani no what no say there be a honkogu nenim aso the world international stage
enya wo mfom so wo say ye akwala nkwala no na wo kan say bi say no ma bebre wo metirim ye free class 1 ko yina yesu abakwasem o FK bua the history books na no ma bi sankofada yes ya ni nyina
dog watch book where's the copy what the copy nearby
but your man fabi
but Wednesday
Wednesday
sure
na Ghana no awoka
na you remember na so yam tell u book na o chere na the title there
but your book ne there na me de chere MBA level complete principles of business law at KNUST for so AUSU business law history no
that's right
business law
great folks now Doc Baba train the hintersen behind kwanye fast so yenya yedin GHNA whatever Ghana if we here their minimum is there ora friend saying I able bonity JB Dankwa and ODPA ya na said no if him you be with the name Ghana a big crowd come so a Guyana a BC from the Jamaica descent Deben Sempi who are we
Medasipa just 2 minutes make sure no maybe more misconception
all right
okay the name Ghana nipa or the buy no nkofo bebre yam from so ka say Dr. JB Dankwa from so a wo mu ye ne say
president na ka bi pen
from so a wo mu ye ne say Dr. JB Dankwa was the first Ghanaian Oyusu the Akan concept of God. Oh yeah, wonyame. Or the tro ni PhD thesis.
No, Doc, CCB, just a second.
The first Ghanaian, and indeed the first African, Oyusu, the traditional name of a tribe called Akan, given to God. Yeah, wonyame. Or the tro ni thesis. Or the tro say. Bibi wa Christo somono ana jiwfo esomono na bibifo titiri akanfo enimi ni nyina enti se yeka onyame oye obi a wunya no na wa me otherwise obi a onyam onyankopon oye onyanko bi a wo twere na wompon wontofo da enti sa no ma no ene ebebu bi a yebu to say a baby a nyankopon ni din ewom no de ni nyina de kire say a bibifo enim wo nyankopon dada ansa na abrofo after all the word nyame is not an English word.
No,
we are benina wutie me mawu enye English word atanwom enye English word sa no ma no de ye ni PhD enti sana ni ya kade bona baso so first Ghanaian what ma challenge Christianity using our own Ghanaian institutions and the binum ya from so edwene say no did the word Ghana
on the screen is Dr. JB Dankwa.
Very handsome man.
Yeah,
yes, he was a very brilliant scholar. And now Professor K.A. Buzia ono so yete University of Ghana and University College of the Gold Coast ye be in 1948.
Yeah,
only the first lecturer in the field of African studies, the first Ghanaian or lecturer African studies our University of Ghana was Professor K.A. Buzia. And then also Ghana for bebre yam from Swase Buzia na Ghana's first professor. Ghana's first professor was Professor Anton William Amo of Axim, born in 1703. Occur University of Halle, and Hampstead, and Wittenberg, and Leipzig, our German memo, of Obeye, the professor of the mind, our nya professor ewe bruchiro no jina broni fite nim echere na de na broni to ni din said the Black Star
no or Ghana
ni ba free Axim ya 1703 wa wo jima chinye no google hwe wo so open no students na etiem no kire no pa ko philosophy department of the University of Ghana plaque bi bo anim ho dedicated by the German Democratic Republic to the memory of Anton William Amo, student and lecturer of the University of Halle. In 1963. About plaque number was here. Obi to me we philosophy department obi be a professor na about ground floor on kinda oduru one we twam wonim se bibidi okọ school wo wiase kane eye Ghana ni ofri Axim your friend Anton William na obi mu twa ntro se enurachi ya obi a otrase we more than 200 years and san ye wo Buzia now we see Buzia was Ghana's first professor Pacho Yamu 200 years before Buzia was born. No a friend Black Star among all black people, because those days were being used as hewers of wood and drawers of water. No, we are springing up about a professor in an area of philosophy in Germany, the heartland of philosophy. No, Gina won't him extra one adiano. Your friend Black Star and no Marcus Garvey Ohunie and no use the term Black Star. And I'm Kromasuko Hunie and no adopted Black Star or the toe, the middle of Ghana's flag. So actually, the Black Star in the middle of Ghana's flag refers to Anton William Amo. And because he was a highly detribalized person, he didn't want everybody to know. No bia because I saw Yenzimeni and Odinimian Zimeni, he really deserved it. nti sa blaster no nkroma ni boss wa no who say before no to me edi abrofo so first some time ago. So we have to shine and glow and teach the whole world that the black man is capable of managing at least his own affairs.
Hey folks, we got to take a breather, isn't it? But then before Ghana ne be diemu
what was my clarify some misconception. Ghana no kwanya fa so e buy and they said, you know, Nkrumah after graduation became a lecturer in black history our Lincoln na numuna was African history and unim say there were 3 famous civilizations in the Western Sudan. The first was the Empire of Ghana, second was Mali, and then the third was Songhai. Now the Empire of Ghana, no, Professor Dubois Ejitumono say there was a small group of people omuye maternalistic. Just say omudi and nadia instead of obia or no dear odi eja adie. I was our empire in Ghana. Na safo no and some Songhai. Na safo no esom won abosom egu ensa.
That's right.
No mu di gold to won ho. Na omu nipa bi ewu a omu di sika kokko anase gold edisie no. Into studies say it was possible that that small group was the Akan group. You feel wow empire no fall here near you go so etiho Ghana empire fall Mali na ebai the Mali ba no and a kankan Musa Mansa kankan Mansa kankan Musa
ono so why
Mali for emperor the famous rich man be Maria Sida the world's only trillionaire. So
the word trillion has been there before.
Before no
in the world history.
Yes. Ono na gold no ye hu baby onya free. Na sa nipa we and no kwaye Islamize no. No person bia ebe ye Muslim. Na kanfo no edwane eba ha. Nti se washa ye ba no we settled in the forest belt emma horses into mean chasing. Into a canfo yina settle wo bono techiman first. Into Nkrumah in his studies, no, and no who says Sadia, na Ghana for a ya canfo no, se na yete Western Sudan ho near former part of the Ghana Empire, but the majority tribe was called Soninke. Na Soninke kasa ni mono, and a Ghana no actually land of black people.
Yeah.
Another explanation is the land of warriors. Another explanation is the land of the golden people. All these three refer to Ghana as a great people, warriors, and black people. In Nkrumah ajene ani ebufu obi say the word Gold Coast no kwaya fast obeda yeso na ebufu Zambuja Don Diego di Zambuja. And 1482 one or buyer or babesre asase so the besi your friend is saying castle or the besi castle no ni yan edija from Nana Kwame na ansa enti o buyer no gold bebre no a wonya no di ko no krom no see what discover land bi na sa land no empoano nyina yesesa gold anasika kokko ewo ho. And I believe you remember that less than 10 years ago, a PL Mina Nankofasi gold went. So that place is called the Gold Coast. And that specific town where he found the gold in abundance, was called the mine La Mina. The mine. And Nkrumah can say, Gold Coast a dinner, just somebody be yesika. Intinya we have to go back to that ancient civilization. The first real black people. I imagine here, I will read the history. I say Arabs and Portuguese for Spanish in Ghana. The first university in the world was Timbuktu. And we are Timbuktu in Mali. The first university in the world. So we'll go back to that ancient civilization and to prove to everybody, say Nkrumah did in Ghana and Ghana and they say, yet UGCC 1947. United Gold Coast Convention. United Diabe.
Gold Coast
United
Convention.
Diabe.
Gold Coast
United
Convention.
Diabe.
Gold Coast Convention.
And the Kwame Nkrumah by Obeye Wong, General Secretary.
Yeah.
And no muna the following year, 1948, 28 February riots, Nebaya. Students from Infante Pim at the saddle, Infante Pim in 1876.
Yes.
At the saddle 1910, no, Augustine 1930. Southway, students and teachers are one more peer acquire demonstration as support to Sergeant Ajetemuno. Yaya Roko, you want. The entire Bobo schools in the dates, and I will say, headmasters Nina Abrofo, and a few African teachers into Omua any one. You woman in it, and no Kwame Nkrumah, a cocoa Pierre Wonso, General Secretary of UGC, and you saw Boko Pabro of Furniture. I may not say mate of Yakwa, some me Pabro Nichow, our me Massasis. Momay and Cornean Quashi should be done be near starting school for Floby, our ho. Now that school will be the beginning, the foundation of the Ghana we are going to build. Ghana and the Kwame was that ancient empire called Ghana, which existed almost 1,000 years before, say, Ghana. We. In 1948, our Ghana National College, you know, me pacho one fed Gold Coast National College, you know,
Davy.
And the one friend, Cape Coast National College, and the one friend, Kwame Nkrumah National College. 9 clear years before independence, Kwame Nkrumah had established a school in Cape Coast called Ghana National College. And then on 6 March 1957, he just emphasized it by calling the whole nation Ghana after that school in Cape Coast. And brother still after that ancient empire called Ghana.
I distorted to say, Dankwa and all this AD.
Now, Dankwa no yet second in third in command. And our second vice chairman, our UGC. Other than our tea party or Omo party, one can say young friend, United Ghana Party. UGP.
Yeah.
Nunca say United Gold Coast Convention.
Folks, it's really getting deeper, is it not? Now, Doc Beme, one last history, then we zero down into another part in a year, People's Redemption, you know, Juma Ben won't be but Obia message is a good and loads of us go ask him. This man, no, say that is why we as Ashantis people have our family in Ivory Coast. It is all because of our Nanaya Pokua and Okekaka. Obisi say this man is unbelievable. Or say this man is someone we have to go for more historical knowledge. He should never try to get himself into the duty politics now in Ghana, as Wuntumi is selfishly destroying our homeland. This man has the story and history. My mama told me the same thing in 1979 when I first asked him of the 1972 coup. Please hope this man doesn't contest for government but advice. Loads of messages may not be coming, but dog, quick one. If you are party, no, Edi kan kanyamia yedi tuetue so say Kwame Nkrumah kofa a foreign god be the buyer. And no man is succeeding in running the affairs of this country. Is this true, or is still one of those falsification?
Oh, true. What we say? Two Kwame Nkrumah. We kaipa young Kwalana who Ashanti region were before. Even in the 70s, yeah, two new menibi. Eddie Huruno, Kwame Nkrumah, Oshegini Richard Bear, Kwame Nkrumah, Oshegini Richard Bear.
And you will not to Ghana.
Return more money were Egypt. Now, a year furnace and Bakubia. Kwame Nkrumah, Jania, Koshegini mem, as I say so, Kotoka, Rishan, Ghana mem, where who know, Mom Pamuno. Wagini memu ho no yewi ewi
betin samo masu no
tiane say abra wo mutu
really yes
na aye den say ordinary people no be accept say yetu Kwame Nkrumah Enti entro bia wo betumi e de etwa ato papa no so no say na that time the greatest Ghanaian artist near friend Ganata won say newspaper bia ya no mu wo comic side bi omu ye designs e wo ho say design no the whole Ghana graphic daily graphic the panoye wasa GD say Ghana's foremost artist and only Ganata Ghana ni biye ni se owu na nche bebre na ofiri adwuma ni mu ne ba homota ye nyina ba beto ni bi ono no babedi na dia no no so ye art no na Ganata na ebe confess kire ye say time ye tu Kwame Nkrumah na ese ye ade bia ne ho be ye obi ebufu nti ye be engage ono Ganata and now draw Kwame Nkrumah asabe ase wada adeja no wabutu ewo ohoni bi oye nipa ohoni ye chese oba na Kwame Nkrumah ekuno na ne hunsuo no esone gu chance na maame no esimu no ne hunsuo no sone gu nto obetu kwan a na odibi aye ne ho na okọ na saa bosom no okọkọji free kankan wagini. It is the holiest city in Guinea. In Krapofo, one or Koji a free. Now, and only a chest for in the chair. Ghana when you know say, hey, Kwame Nkrumah and Tisano watch a chair, Sano watch a chair and say, I could to Kanya free far and Ababe Sani and Yawamwa and Kashani and Nkrumah the or Bebajoma Becasano didn't see any be at the good one to obey one or be a edinachi. Now, Yana, a binum. Sabe me pesa me use wide be am trying makodi will be atem when me saw me mu neji we without asking ourselves say ya no kura say e nipa na ebo na wo de sansuo no egugu no nsuo na lavender e perfume na wo de abegina nipam and how many weeks and asade ne betumi abo not to talk about months or years no so obutu ho no de ye ne ho no na che say enuham meboa o mota se Ghana fo nyinara we were very backward. Second, and Kramofo fa nipa moja na nipa ho bibia nye omo noma. Omo fa nipa bibia. Ani enka obeka say in African traditional religion, and a caneno among Akans or Hiniwa, you see a kum nipa no mo akwakoja no. Mpancho Kramofo. So we had the gomba, say we free Guinea, omo ye Jula omo sio. Omu fendi panye bibiasa na yeka edi Kwame Nkrumah animu ase se ne ebe ye obi abetan no ne se ne obi ebe ye obi aso beji edi se ne wa chichire ye ne se de yenya fa hodie ene
the last one so wo hwe Ghana fo nim ne camera mu na wa ka kire Ghana fo ne the world who were or was Kwame Nkrumah's biggest adversaries are one be hwan.
What Kase Nkrumah's biggest adversaries? One one more. It's very difficult. Political adversaries. Yeah. I will start from he himself.
Wow.
Yeah, I will start from he himself, and I have to give you the reason. Abraham Nkrumah free Aburuchiri Bayan. Na Obeye General Secretary of UGC. Send me can lay foundation. No more pet for for. Achimene infantene enkran ene enzema ne yi aibani asante ne siramu nyina afrimu no peso mani nyina atumi ekambo mu no Kwame Nkrumah ehwehwe tribe by so se yesi edua edene ne edi nantwie mantam no nti ohwehwe ba bi eso a okọ a obenya ba bi agina eno ne asante man to okọ no prempe the second ana one ne fa anamfo what you say to mu nyina be and no ka kire ne say tie sumasemo say wono prempe kura no ade o chi kura ne say asante atamfo and that is the truth eye achim asante acham atamfo
asempa ne yetie
hwo in history one Ashantis when me say omo war allies any ayi before
war allies
womo ni ayi be ayenua Entina Asante top from March 1874 in the Sagrenti War. No? June 1874, now you before so top from Say no mufi sa Santefo ko di nkonim no mo abeboa wo ana Santefo ka chon say yen ye di nkugo yen tumi rezi amebi ema. So the famous Jelukope Accord was in June 1874. Omo yenua na mom wo mu a Asante prayer so mu di won be hye wase no wadi won so da bi omo etete won ane achem wo mu mienu nka enti tamu a Asante yini hu say pa grant here old man. Now there was the likelihood say JB dan kwaso na busuafo nyina begu CPP no obetumi UGCC no obetumi aba be the first leader of Ghana no na ompene so say ne townfo ba bi ofri ne townfo ni mu no ebeba na momu no enzema ani Asante ya de baako enzema kotoko Asante kotoko ntimi de sekan no ebe hye wo nsem woku na wotumi di nkonimu amede abodi no wasagefo mede bema eno mano arara mponsa Vito Wusu Krobo Dusey Franklin Adubebi Jantoa ene your friend is Kwame Sanapoku Jantoa ena Franklin Adubebi Jantoa. These people 5 edidi nkromachi and it was then these people were the leaders of the Ashanti Youth Association nti Ashanti Youth Association na ebedi nkromachi no and no yeah powerful enough say obetume break away from UGCC. And why I'm saying it starts from him, you know, and he say Taman Nkrumah who say the development of Ghana so Gina cocoa as a commodity so and I say or they based on the first 5-year development plan our day ebayen say one sheye no the cocoa farmers sikanwa de share when semua there will be nothing in the state coffers I will bet me they develop or mine intina peanut and or the mawo sika ketu bi and all now otumfo Asante hene no etu arara mponsamo ene bafo akoto so mo nkokwa me Nkrumah ho no mo nkwa kan kire ne say wo mo nyina ye CPP fo na mom cocoa price no won hwe say ode actual price ne bema farmers na mom Asante that time na Asante was the biggest region. Why bono ahafo no na e friend Western Ashanti na ka present day Ashanti ho nti it was the biggest and it was the biggest cocoa producer region. Nti so hwe so musika na e de ama esremfo free education no this is schools so di ya kwan habo bibia na ha won nti no mo pewo mo asika no ana Nkrumah ka kire won so mo ba ho bi mu be ha no a obechi wo mo agu prison na ni oya ma Asante man no ene se obi bia odua cocoa carry cocoa we receipt no what sisi schools bebre wo Ghana ma wo ba no fa ne receipt no enkire wo receipt no emfa nkire headmaster ya be ma ne cocoa marketing board scholarship na no na mbanya lawyer for ne doctor ne nurse ne teacher for na sika me de shamu nsemu a what will a farmer do oba ware bebre I know na Asante for say Nkrumah di atem nti sade a yate ye ho afri CPP
tene na matem
ho na nu ani yate ye ho afri CPP nti the way Nkrumah antumi handle nananom mo want na see ye no ma Ashanti breaking away no that's why I say I start from him.
I see.
The second
then mo de be form NLM
national liberation to free wo mu free
bafo akoto
yeah mo ko first time second time third time no so obechi won and na mo betwa adwan e wo manhia and no mo take part
and then once a delay in our independence
because
1940 Chebe 1940
there been Kabeye 51 and 51 52 51 after the election 52 na ko mo de mai
that's right
and no na ne bufu Nkrumah bufu parliament all can say a year fan so kwan bia so beji independence na say alambans ka kire ne say e ko ni problems bebre aba Asante no e say e hwe solve once and Nkrumah yi na no say we prefer self government with danger to servitude in tranquility.
Folks, it's getting very interesting up. Okay, mami kika message when doc and someone say this is a recuse now because it is exactly the history. This man is a special. Please let us protect him for he has the word. This is exactly what I was told by my peers in 1970. Well, see, thanks Kweku for bringing this gentleman to your studio. He's bestowed with rich history of tribes and the country that modern generation ought to know for their guidance in governance. Also, I'm fortunate to be there. God bless you. Just a baby was him. Dr. Winifred Nana Ofori Eje say People's Redemption Movement Perimo is the only hope for Ghana. Okay, Wendy say, wow, thank you for educating us. Because I say, please, this man has the story and history. Doc, Afiyemra Party, so People's Redemption Movement Perimo. Muye group benya. See a and a weekend yedi we see tour as the flag bearer of the party. I cannot imagine Ghana having him as the president of this republic. Me sure say who sa historians are more church history basa muna mu betu to read him. Doc, I cannot imagine the 20 after January 2024 to January 7 2025. Ufra water now kuta akonfra wa Ghana as the president. How would you feel? By the way, group no mu ye group ya. Yen hwe no first.
Group no ye group
political party.
A political party. Yeah. Omo a register. Womu ejina shedie.
Yeah.
Eye jata. Eye jata.
Really?
Kwame Nkrumah ba first one ba tisa akukọ nini. Ena di oba se jata, the red lion. A oba beje ne man edi esiwo. Ye ka jata o mesaya ade. Jata wondi aduane ade ache so.
That's right.
Wodi ne onua ekum. No onua edi. Nia ase no woni so it means it's a corruption. Prayer dream katasihye. E ade e ba betu ase. Nia etoso biom jata stands for royalty. Enti owosoro so yo ohene ahinie. Again Jata se wosha documentaries ubon se mo ani be di agro saa ono ba mu late but ono ba mu ese moja ehwiego Jesus say ye ba mu late ye ba ne sakra ya kase ebeba
sa
ebeba na obi kan se me ya nipa ne se na nkanya se me ya ma adwin se meye politics in fact me yire me se o hweme
bebre mpesa wo beba politics
me yire ka kire me se menye Nia me ye ya na mame mfa me ho nko amanwesemu na mo mame kan sem bi so ekiro
o man ni ke ekiro
human beings won nipa ansa na ye ba won no bi ani madwuma wo ba beye o sorry nyankopon ni bia wo ba beye ansa na wo beba wiase no obia ye dikan edi wadwuma to ho ansa na ya wo ma waba the year 1969
asema wo kan recuse him in control. So this man is a gift to our history. Also, please let us protect him from the fake political parties and the politicians and even those one-man churches and their men of God. Now I'll say that Adibio Tron and Pesa Mekancho say Dankwa was a good man and a good brotherhood, but as time went on, he go confused and this really no. But could be a choice say. They are working us what kind okay. I say please, you should be writing all this man is saying. I have read all this message in the history of Ghana in the New York Library in the USA. Or the free US neighbor. What kind of history in our New York Library? Ghana School of Communication and History. Muni books were on.
Say yenguno and say sabi untumi sore metna baby say na wo meto anansesem say we research na wo beka nokre nti e me de say
god
we can be the first na menkasa baby anso mobi and dispute that all because I put a lot of books together and then I consult those who need to be consulted.
Sure. I feel more party no yemfa ne say so bi person odom a obemwa obeden wapa
oh obemwa
People's Redemption
Movement no enya me pa 3rd June ye ba be pa ho ntoma enti wo de na breaking news na 3rd June no and ye be pa ho ntoma and wo se wo mu ayi me se pani
yes
initially na nka me nka ho
sir
na the leaders of the party
the leaders that will be come back kwasem o
akobo mpaya na ye se ye ka kire won se nipa na obeye pani no ombehu ni TV so so kasa kyerɛ ɔman no na muhunu no a mobɛhu sɛ wei na meka no
obi bompaye kwa okwatwene mu
kokro bi de atwea osebe no mukọ bompaye na yɛka kyerɛ wɔn sa and why I will believe it no any story na meka kyerɛ wɔn so 1969 na madi I think 5 years because I was born in 64 na yɛtoto posters go that was a Buzia election no Second Republic and na mekɔse sɛ posters ni bi ne yɛtiatia am so na sɔfo bi twa mu no sɛ o wopɛ owu mpɛ o the be nkrofo you say be di woman anim na adwuma no na wa hya ase no nti me na takwa nso ayem na obo me na ye ka kire ni say onjai nti anya me nwanwa say obi a me ye first degree 1990 na ye started Fourth Republic 1992 na me nige politics hu say attempt bia me ye say me kwa NDC na MPP no na BBS na me free mu because the prophecy was that be bia nya me pese odi medru na ne opesa me yema ɔman no it will not come from any existing party. There are many times omisa MPP branch swami ɛhɔ ne yɛfie hɔ yɛti Kumasi mɛkɔ sɛ member to mayi ɔsɛ chairman sɛ firi hɔ nti memra mɛyɛ parliamentary candidate. It didn't work because nyame mpɛsɛ me join MPP NDC baby ame maame Sophie no ɛwɔ Nzemano Western region so many attempts say so we ye candidate ye ma no kasa no a say me candidate na nyame ayi afiri ho na we no omuhu me say yes wo mre na so and I prayed over it and God told me say the time you are ready you are exactly 60 years that is when I would make you fight for this country and in June I will be 60 years.
Really?
Because I was born in 1964. I don't hide my age. I've never done that.
This is serious. Frank A. will say we should vote for this man instead of elephant and umbrella. They are all dog. It is a bit so movement in one.
What do you need breaking news?
Yes. We have the breaking news tonight.
3rd June.
As confirmed, the
headquarters
flag
will be
bearer.
unveiled. Telephone numbers, everything.
Oh. Okay, my main can message with him now. Say, please, you are spoiling the show. Let the prof flow. Prof, Prof, near Bessia Asom, Yakupon had my Wednesday, Namakwaba, Meba, many prof were a lot of things to do. Because history, no, I can't see, I'm meaning the American because. And now your premier university, Ghana, your premier university, and then it's all gone yes way, not take a back home. Now we share the student of political science for the Omoya. Any history for no, any philosophy for no. Now somebody na just say, "Hey, told me." My main kind message in Rana say, "Good evening. Today your class is very fantastic and loving. I am proud to have you as my mentor." All the way from Boku. Good one, Boku for no, my join me. Miss Michia Boku for no, papa. Or say, let this video of history of Ghana be put on the internet and caption the true history of Ghana. On also dia all can I say. Good evening. This is the second time I'm listening to this man. You are more than computer. And your name is Ghana Professor. My name is Richard Amu from Hacho. Okay, I love listening to great elders like him. This man should be one among our future presidents of Ghana. Well, the party in the urban into also beti me adjoin it. So obviously why I fed up with NOB Kano, Frank Eze, why I fed up with NDC MPP, alternatives in an APA ban. I say thank you for educating us. I salute you, sir. Thank you for such a great show. As always, please, are you planning to stand for president? The man is standing for president. And you're grown wood, you say, Master Kweku, don't worry at all. This one to me, Morris Ampao. And that's blah, 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 blah. I don't want to use that word for him. We'll face thunder strike, okay? We must start cursing them with thunder. Just call me when I will assist you to bring down these blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, they basically say, Kweku Anan, Mr. Kweku Anan. No wonder when people are hunger for power and gets the power, they use the same power to abuse you. Please, why are these leaders use the same power to destroy people's state property? No wonder all these atrocities falls under NDC MPP. I keep telling you, Ghanaians, get rid of these bunch of thieves. For, I say, as for wound to me, all the resources have whatever using them for. I dare want to me to what? Repent and stop the chasing properties, because soon you will die and none would follow you. Lastly, Mr. Gwekwanan, Ghanaians are your eyes. Please don't say you would quit journalism, because the day you would quit journalism, majority Ghanaians would be disappointed. May the good Lord lead you in all your ways and protect you. Yabre, we just time now. So, Doc, party the ban, you joining. Now, bra social media now say, I would vote for this man instead of the elephant. We just say, this man is strong, but please, the current situation now is being played by those cartel group. Would have loved so much if this, my friend, would come in 2028. Minyesho said, Doctor, so about 2028. We just say, please, the election in December, are we running out of time to campaign? I ask respectively. No, you're running out here. I can't say Abosumi saying, Bear and Insia Conson. I say, good evening, Kweku. The man is great. I said, Dan, our history of the Big Six should be revised in all our basic schools, from Sir Philip Kumasi, NOD Free Eba. I say, good evening, Kweku. I really enjoyed today's history lectures. Thank you, guest, for your. I should thank the guest for you. Okay. Obeba Wednesday, the another exclusive angles be about. So Mr. Anokye's submission this evening has been incredible, enlightening. His deep knowledge of Ghana's rich history and culture has provided valuable insight into the nation's traditional customs, folklore, and historical evolution. Through his detailed and engaging presentation, I've gained a greater appreciation for the complexities and the beauty of Ghanaian heritage. Dr. Anokye's ability to convey intricate cultural narratives with clarity and passion has significantly enhanced my understanding and sparked a deeper interest in Ghana's cultural landscape. In fact, I respectfully request some of his books to read. Uncle Kweku, any help? From Daniel Kofi Ajiman Gomwa Kweku Mradi Fribai. He writes so well and very comprehensive. Yeah. Very construction. I love you so much, Mzajiman. Also, good evening, Brother Annan. Please greet Doctor for me. He's making me cry tonight. Please ask him where from Okomfo Anokye. We need him to help change Ghana's education system and history. So, you have to vote for him. Also, Mr. Annan, please, I have been listening to your program now, and I'm an ardent listener. Please, could you correct the Dr. Yao Anokye on your program to call the airways as such? We are not Ayigbe. Thanks, okay. Emmanuel Koko English amount from Doc.
Okay, thank you. What instead of Ayigbe, I'm using when you see Ever.
Oh, okay.
I think it's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. So what's in the organization?
It's called Everland.
I see.
And so thank you.
Good one. So, bro, Doc, ISR correction. So good evening, Kweku. We need to rewind our mind and rewrite our history again. Nana Kujo Nya no de Ebae. I don't know how that can be done. Or say, Dr. Yao Anokye Frimpong has demonstrated insightful knowledge in history, rule of law, science and technology, economics, how jobs can be created for the youth, protecting our environment, many innovative ways that would make Ghana a great nation. He's the best person to lead Ghana out of the current economic misery. Sam, would you free Canada or the bad dog? It's a moment by mobile, we see young IMF, and what will be the magic formula? Punhoka Kramian Shad answer, where is the about full flow of more party policies and program? Yeah, IMF, yeah, bre. Hey, it's really.
Nasa Nkrumah wanko IMF.
Debbie,
a champion anko IMF.
No.
A champion body a kaya din or
Osientia. Ghana's debt against our debt portfolio. Osientia. And he succeeded. Oh,
he succeeded.
Nothing and your president so might be a winner, school, phone me a day, a kufa, don't why. Omina, Edna, your death crowd, your child, your sheep from Ukrabian. Why?
Very simple. You see, I
think you need to lecture about me.
Melachano Palma. So Wednesday, Banama Lechano, Eminem who say the only reason why we succeeded under Nkrumah and we also succeeded under a champion, and they say, you see, no nation can succeed unless you produce and manufacture more than you import. What in the American? Until at all times, you first rely on what God has given you before what you can give to yourself. What God
Ghana for you.
What God gave to Dubai. Omudiye Jumo Babaye Dubai no was a sun.
That's right.
Sun area. Sand. And a sun.
And Iriano.
And at the sea.
Epono.
No mommy sawe. Then they made use of it. Indeed, Eponumu munya oil woman sassano so munyabi. And nekra oil no anyhow, but they are flourishing. In the case of Ghana, the pacho sun ni enibi.
You will be a
sea ni enibi.
You will be a
na sun when see
Iriano crowd, I know what they
and the vegetation near one Dubai omuobi. Forest near one omuobi. Minerals near one omuobi. And no oil no see your wobi. So why are we not succeeding? It's because we are not making use of it for the benefit of our people. Because as I say, Ejira, Kentampo, Techiman, Edikotamale, and the Volta region, as I said, that was Sio Ayanema, Ayatumi Edudia Emo. Now we ho when you have so much land, because you are just 31 or 32 million per, you are underpopulated. Now we say we bakra emo e free or my China you overpopulated 1.4 billion. Now we are backward because sikana ukwaji free abrofono. In the case of Nkrumah, he also took loans, but he used the loans to build the Kosombo Dam. He used the loan to establish Aboso Glass Factory, Bonsa Tai, Kumasi Shoe Factory, Kumasi Jute Factory, Commander Sugar Factory, Shari Sugar Factory, Kede Match Factory. Loan no JJ Bano.
That's right.
Or the investment into the investment, not just say investment in the profit, etria loan no eka. And nano yajia the best support balance of payment deficit. Yemfa enye investment biara. So as we speak now, Ghana hasn't got any factory of our own.
Baby.
We are not manufacturing. And if you are not manufacturing, it means you would always import manufactured goods. And manufactured goods cannot be imported with cedis. It is dollar, euro, pound sterling. I'm sure you understand.
Exactly.
Today, I bet it's a dollar. I'm many emotional now. If you say, we cost store BMU or Ghana, 99% of normal now will cut on every amanone.
Ne leadership into and fear baby
Ghana still remains one of the 2 leading cocoa producers in the world. Now, during the colonial time, na yeduya cocoa no ewaha, and abrofono Bangladesh was also a British colony. Inti yeduya cocoa no ewaha no. Na cocoa sack no. Jute no factory no wo Bangladesh into omuko the factory no bags no at the Bagana no mo abelodu cocoa no ediko Nkrumah ji independence no and no di jute aduane bi at the bar Nkuranza ane adwira nti aduane ho a na factory no wo Kumase ye produce cocoa sacks wo Kumase ya ma factory no egu esi ho nti do you know that yan Ghana, the world's second leading exporter of cocoa no yako Bangladesh ni India ni yakoto cocoa sacks edi aba adentira ebe buama nipa no a okra no ye party member no
exactly
we are more quota se bia we bekra 20,000 we bekra 50,000 we 100,000 no when you be ato hu when you be so ahwe party no na wo factory there no esi ho so we need somebody a obeyi sa no ma na firi ho na yasa ko adwira ene Nkuranza ne yakɔ dua jute no na yɛde abakumase jute factory na yɛ cocoa sacks wɔ ha na manfoɔ bi so free other countries aba abɛtɔ bi na kyerɛ sɛ yɛnya foreign exchange which I matches no a wokra free China no because kede luckily for us, in Indiana, Daso, Ewo, no why your matches. Do you know that during Nkrumah's time, the 3 leading exporters of matches in the world, not Ghana count.
Me video no incredible. Do we have that old video na me mama boy no? Ghana me mama video be Ghana me and said that's Ghana then versus now. Very instrumental.
To go export to ubenya foreign exchange. Ubenya foreign it. And Nkrumah who say Abrofono, Abrofono, Syria, Lebanese, Indians, and the Nigerians, and no more capitalizing retail trade. And no koko who AG Levantes, Greek businessman, and not tall the shops in Ina, and no be a Ghana National Trading Corporation, and selling goods lower than aliens and foreigners and Ediano. So you try to kill the state killed foreign competition. In that Ghana, you be piano koko di foreigners
retail everything.
ECOWAS. Masa meba Ghana you be free ECOWAS more. Also Britain stage Brexit.
Exactly, Brexit.
Ghana is going to stage Ghanazit when I become president of Ghana.
Wow.
Because me now I'm a president for be 2 times. No, I am 3 times. Na Ghana dasu we ECOWAS mo. Me now my cover the crime my no. Na Nigeria close to the border to Ghana. Near to what share. Me now I'm a dasu ti French speaking countries in they trade with France and they don't trade with their neighbors.
Okay, let's take a bite of this. Now, Dr. Man, this was in 1961. This was Ghana versus now. In Nkrumah time in you, then Nyoma Ghana yetumi yeno unprecedented. Production was overwhelming. Yes, take a listen to Momiensha Adiweka Krewi. Folks, ni enfren kakai na Dr. Nihunko Moma. Take a listen to this.
The goods which Ghana needs. This is the Development Corporation's nail factory at Accra. With more and more building, more and more nails. Nails to make fine furniture in another government-sponsored enterprise. Great opportunities exist in many other fields. The international investor will survey possible markets which extend beyond Ghana itself to the vast awakening territories of Africa north of the equator. The people want furniture and household articles of all kinds. And moreover, they want the best that their money can buy. In the field of heavy engineering, the Ghanaian worker has proved his ability to master the many skills and techniques necessary. Today, more and more kinds of production are being undertaken, and more articles of every kind are bearing the title, Made in Ghana. A good example is the lorry assembly plant at Tema. Here, records have been broken by Ghanaians with no previous engineering experience. Production is already double the expected figure, and the workers may be recognized in a new skilled category, to be known as motor assembly.
Great, folks. I love my production team up there. Of course, Yebabe rap here, but look at this. Oh, this was Ghana then versus now. Folks, was it a new man question? I had you. Sit and make a Rollins about question. Ushe kwen within the fast economic recovery programs near the idea. PAMSCAT, UNDP, Global 2000 Edina by Kosibotre, Omina and Fenko Kusiri. See a ne. Or how would they buy Yako IMF? This political class seem incapable of reversing the trend. And I think that we should give up on them. MPP, NDCSC give it up. Doc.
Very simple.
Yes.
It is just an example of what the famous British politician Neil Kinnock can say, without a strong manufacturing base, no nation can make it in life.
Can you imagine?
Yes, a strong Nkrumah time, what he was centering was a strong manufacturing base, because he had the best development economists in the world to advise him. Next time, people like Kelek, like Lewis, Atta Lewis, what you say, and Hamshad, more advising Nkrumah, and Bogner. If people like you are like this, the best economists in the world, who spearheaded the formulation of the 7-year development
plan.
You know, people like this advising you say everything is manufacturing.
Everything is manufacturing.
me enye na ye yensi ntese akukọ no ohun se wa disappoint wo man Kwesibotwe ohun se wa
the late Kwesibotwe
ohun se wa disappoint wo man
wa advice Rollins here folks Doc man I was say bro all those guys ministerial appointment are little boys. How can a minister in government they carry $3.5 million to fly to the USA? What was that money meant for? Wow, now it is a gift. Where is the same main country doctor say will take you sick? Because my advice to him going forward, he should take his security seriously now that he has declared his intention to is it conceptualize what I'm not sure what you're trying to write. I say he should not go about eating tuizafi and all of that. And I'm sure you're trying to make something. Doc in Yabofra. I say, good evening, boss. I have been dizzy to sleep, but when I heard the historical from the man, I am now active. And please, may I get some of the history books? I am from Kintampo North Municipality. I am Yahaya Besmark. You know the Ebae. We will say, Kweku, can you ask Doc where from Konfo Anokye? Awukugwa nature saying.
Awukugwa in Akwapem Eastern region.
Ah, member. Konfo Anokye no be so.
Konfo Anokye no the golden stool ni bai.
Ane.
Ofre Awukugwa we Akwapem ni. Na say ni di Anokye. In the Guan language. On say
Onya Santini.
Dabi Onya Santini.
Onya Awuneni.
Onya Eve. And Onya Nzema foresee a dear Anokye no. I say Anokye to Zimeni. We do a big debate on Miss Omudeshiano. And ever say Mochie Konfo. That is from Mochie area. Na Charlie. Bia no aye Konfo kese pa ho ne twin brother no mpacho enye no kure o na sante hene wa ma less than 5 years ago wa ma Wukuga ameda won wase e na wuduru ho nko aso na ne relics no wa abe na ofroye ene ne fie ne bibia ho nti wushi mpacho wonye eve e na onye enzema e na onye asante oye Akwapemini from Wukuga.
I said, how true is this? Was Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah sent to USA to become Roman Catholic priest? Obi bisa question.
Mpacho Debbie. Rather, when he completed school, he wanted to become a Catholic priest. So he went to Emisano and started his ejumano. And no na oye nipano. Or kwasha obebi nyinsei. Free Elmina. And then the firstborn. Professor Francis Nkrumah.
Oh.
Now from there, no.
If you want to sell products, EPA
into school no want to make into a quarter one and ditcher so. Our your friend say Axim. I'll go to our watch radio an education officer. A bibe who knows in the way our beno. Meshama Wako Training College. No recommend your bar Achimota Training College. No real no. None a mentor any Azikiwe. Who attended university in USA or a Nigerian journalist. And agree and see a product from a furnace US Livingston College. And Nkrumah mentoring these two people. Fair to say so no so called US and US there or so Kosunya at the end indeed he did sociology, theology and economics. But yes obey soften the Ghana.
Suffering to Ghana folks, agronia dance not just idea so sanquintiphobia. May the doc be see on Yankupon Yardma Wednesday, which will be my last show no, for this moment. No. Doc Bessiaba Wednesday. It will be another historical artifact be so, and so you go. Nephew, the People's Redemption Party in Juma Wonamu Babidi. And you may be brave policies on program. Now, if you baby said doc and so, quite your bed or the gun and Casabe faster because I say Chronocutan and Sims is like a ball. Turns it anyway, anyhow. And I wish I can have his head. I wish that we can exchange head because I want to have his head. However, that I'm learning, still not challenge.
To have yours. When you say Einstein, when you met Charlie Chaplin,
yes.
No, Charlie Chaplin. Oh, catch it and say we don't understand you, but we love you.
So
and Einstein so catch Charlie Chaplin. We always understand you. That's why we laugh so much.
It looks quite twisted, isn't it? Yes. Doc, yeah, that's a papa. Great, you do be see na Yankopon Yadma. Doc be saying will return on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm gonna make full time. I'm not sure say Ghana speak Robert film or be have a time in na fi work could deeper. Into one same be a person the bar pacho no what join the program in term now the questions be if it's because me name question a Doc going to me but then again really the surprising part of him is also that he will not open any textbook or any notes. People be an him. And me who Ghana Professor Dr. Emeritus be also war challenge ever since Doc started this ministry of history, which is beginning to change the narrative on our historical blogger. Ubi antimi mambe dispute here. Moment koso sa. Ghana history mumma enyina bebi ejina. Politicians are more trotron krata leaflets ni pamphlets ni ade esese bie mikobo bie beka se akogwo no kwa no. Professor Michael Quinn, mun trotron yi. Ne munya is a more trotro all to suit your political whims and caprice no many ade moa. Ne yema ye students na wonum go ni enyini daache embeka bakwasem te said ye papa yi eken ena recuse kano and woka history bi New York Library. Na Ghana Library as well. Minim say National Library credit so ye adwuma I don't know. Folks, we see a great guys give me the production. Of course, Ruby X, great guy, and then online editor, Kings, and then the indefatigable, the man himself, executive producer, Yao Yamba, and then the second indefatigable, of course, if Okahodia, then you may try you, mommy, papa, credible himself, and then they were saying, yes, so medifiant, yes, or quantum to me, done quite. Folks, Nyankopoyaduma, so once you say Wednesday in the air, banum. Online editors and also and I say editors at large. I Kofi Ansa and then director of research Kofi Ejiri all out there and George Ni Okainte all the way from Chicago give us all the back-to-back push them resource guys ma yede doc abetraham or a doctor moi you can't challenge politicians munsuya de nyakopon yadma Wednesday de beku deeper. Yes, you may be near their boy, bra. Fanny say ya, ne say ya, na you notes, fatuho, amadachibi, was with me, be, aka, na ye history no, anye so distorted. My name still remain quick one, investigative journalist. Same time Wednesday, I come your way. Good night.